Welcome back, young scholars. Today's lesson will be a very special one, focusing on one of the most powerful entities within the DC universe, the Speed Force. So grab your notebooks and pencils. We have much to cover. Let's get started. The Flash is one of the most powerful superheroes in the DC universe. His powers include super speed, accelerated healing factor, vibration, matter manipulation, the ability to traverse time and space, and maybe one of my favorite abilities, being able to perceive and think faster than anyone else, meaning the Flash can strategize way ahead of any enemy, really giving them no chance of winning. Now these abilities come from the Speed Force, a source of energy existing outside of time and space, which is accessed by speedsters through the process known as the Speed Force connection. When first accessing the Speed Force, you must have a connection to it. You could say the Speed Force chooses who gets its power, kind of like how Thor can only wield Mjolnir because he is worthy. To make a Speed Force connection, one must perform a tremendous act of heroism at great personal cost. For example, this could mean saving someone close to you, like a friend or family member, by risking your life. Or it could also mean saving an entire city by making a great sacrifice. Usually this means losing something important to you, such as your sight or your love. Only after great personal loss and heroic gain can one connect to the Speed Force, harnessing its awesome power. However, there are exceptions to every rule, including this one. Sometimes the Speed Force connection is forced upon people, like when Johnny Quick was mutated by accident while studying the Speed Force and gained powers whether he wanted them or not. Once a person makes a Speed Force connection, they can access the Speed Force, drawing its power to use various speed-related abilities. However, the Speed Force is an incredibly dangerous source of power. Depending on your willpower, courage, and control over yourself, the Speed Force can either help you or hurt you. Many speedsters who abuse its power eventually find themselves mentally broken. A few examples of this include Max Mercury, who became mad after tapping into the Speed Force's negative energy, becoming the villain known as Zoom, and Professor Zoom, aka Hunter Solomon, who was temporarily granted the ability to tap into the Speed Force, causing him to go insane. In the comics, the Flash has had many enemies over the years, and some of them have used speed to fight the Flash. Here are just a few of them. First, we have the Trickster. The Trickster has fought the Flash both in the comics and in live action. Although not as fast as the Flash, he's still extremely dangerous. The Trickster uses his intellect and vast array of gadgets to outsmart and defeat the Flash. Sometimes the Trickster has been portrayed as having super speed, but in other stories, he does not. Either way, he remains a dangerous opponent for the Flash. Next, we have Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd is a super intelligent gorilla with telepathic and telekinetic abilities. He is usually depicted as the leader of a gorilla army and is one of the Flash's most hated enemies. Grodd is actually able to match the Flash in terms of speed, making him a formidable opponent. In the comics, it has been shown that Grodd can access the Speed Force and even move at the speed of thought. Finally, we have the Reverse Flash, aka Elbar Thawne. In the comics, the Reverse Flash is depicted as the Flash's greatest enemy. He is a villain from the future who has traveled back in time to take revenge on the Flash. The Reverse Flash is an incredibly powerful speedster with similar abilities to the Flash, but he uses them for evil. So what happens if the Flash loses control of his power? What happens if he pushes himself too far? Well, let me tell you. Once upon a time, Barry Allen was running as the Flash, trying to outrun a villain who had trapped him in a pocket dimension. He tried to reach the Speed Force, hoping to find a way out. Instead, he found himself surrounded by darkness. He felt himself slowing down until his feet were touching solid ground again. When he turned around, he saw that he was standing in a graveyard. Looking up at the sky, he realized that he was in the Speed Force, where time stood still. There was no sky, no stars or clouds, just an infinite expanse of nothingness. Suddenly, a figure appeared before him. "Who are you, Arnie?" Barry asked, instinctively vibrating his molecules so he could speak without making a sound. The figure did not answer. Instead, he walked toward Barry and pointed to himself. "You," he said. Then he pointed to Barry. "You." With that, he vanished. Confused, Barry decided to follow the man. As he ran through the Speed Force, he saw visions of Earth 2 and learned that the man he was chasing was Jay Garrick, the original Flash. He also met other versions of himself, the cosmic version of the Flash and the evil Flash from Earth 3. After defeating his evil counterpart, Barry continued to chase the original Flash. He finally caught up to him and asked him why he had called him. Jay told him that he needed help to restore the balance of the Speed Force. It had been disrupted by the villain known as the Turtle Man, who had stolen some of its power. The Turtle Man had taken refuge on Earth 2, which Jay couldn't enter because it would disrupt the timeline. Barry offered to help, and together they went to Earth 2. They found the Turtle Man, and a battle ensued. During the fight, the Turtle Man revealed that he wasn't the real villain, that he was being controlled by someone else, someone much more powerful. Suddenly, the villain's identity was revealed. It was none other than the Anti-Monitor, a being of pure negative energy who threatened to destroy the multiverse. Now Barry was angry. How dare this creature try to destroy everything he cared about? He gathered all his strength and struck the Anti-Monitor with a powerful blow. The attack drove the creature away, but it was not enough to defeat him. The Anti-Monitor vowed revenge and disappeared. Realizing that he couldn't defeat this enemy alone, Barry made a plan. He would seek out other speedsters from different universes and bring them to Earth 2. Together, they would form a team capable of defeating the Anti-Monitor. If you enjoy the story, do me a favor and subscribe for more amazing stories. Also, don't forget to support us. It helps us continue to produce quality content. Thank you. With Jay's help, Barry traveled to different universes searching for other speedsters. He found Wally West, Jesse Quick, Dan Forth, and several others. Together, they confronted the Anti-Monitor and his army of shadow demons. The battle was fierce, and many of the speedsters were injured. But in the end, they managed to defeat the Anti-Monitor and save the multiverse. Afterwards, Barry returned home, exhausted but happy. He had saved his friends and the universe, but he knew that this was only a temporary victory. The Anti-Monitor would return, and when he did, he would be ready for revenge. Since then, Barry has been training, preparing for the day when he would have to face the Anti-Monitor once again. He knows that he can't do it alone. He needs his friends, his family, and all the speedsters he can call upon. So the next time you see the Flash running through the streets of Central City, remember that he's not just a superhero. He's a beacon of hope for all of us. He's the fastest man alive, but he's also a symbol of humanity's potential to overcome even the darkest of times. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of our channel. If you liked it, please don't forget to leave a like. Also, subscribe to our channel to watch new episodes each week. And if you want to learn more about the characters featured in the episode, visit our website